Melania Trump held a very strange pre-buttal press conference to bring back Jeffrey Epstein into the press cycle.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. Never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common.
Right. I'm in Berlin right now, and so I've been kind of disjointed in my timelines and what's happening in America, but I just saw this, and it made me think the only reason that the First Lady of the United States, who we all know is associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and who's basically a mail-order bride who sounds like Dracula, is bringing up the Jeffrey Epstein case, the very thing the DOJ and Donald Trump has tried to bury for a whole year, is because the war in Iran is going so tragically bad, they need to spin the news cycle. Or what I really think is that something pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein, Melania Trump, Donald Trump, and Ghislaine Maxwell is about to drop. And so she's doing damage control. She literally referenced an email that she wrote to Ghislaine Maxwell that was released as part of the files months ago. So why is she bringing it up now? I truly believe something is about to come out with these Epstein files against Trump's darndest try to make us, the people, forget about it, even though we've never forgotten about it. This is what we actually want. But the fact that she came out and did this press conference in a very strange way, followed by her husband going on a complete tyrant on Truth Social against MAGA. I won't even do it to read it to you guys. It's way too late in the morning here. But what do you guys think is happening? Because I truly believe that something is coming out that because why would she do this? I met my husband at the party in Kansas in the dark.
I would love to be a fly on the wall while Wiggs R Us and Melania have this conversation.
But the Donald, I know no Epstein. I know no Epstein. Well, now I have to crash out. I gotta make sure that no one knows me and Epstein were together. Allegedly. Donald, I called you. You were in the war room. I'm not a part of Epstein. Melania, I don't know how to fix this. I'm gonna have to go after everybody.
Do what you've got to do, Donald. I'm already a whore on Playboy. No one likes my English. And everybody knows I hate you.
We all know that, and we haven't slept together in years.
Fuck ABC, CNN, all my MAGA supporters, the Wall Street Journal. Iran better not be selling nothing to go through the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all, that crash out was funny as fuck. She didn't even tell that man she was doing the announcement. Melania out. She done made this shit so visible now everybody gonna be talking about the fucking Epstein files all over again. This shit is funny though.
So is something going to be dropping soon? The reason why Melania Trump got up there and said what she said, basically saying don't link her to Epstein. What is getting ready to come? And then Trump saying that he wasn't aware that she was going to be making a statement. Is something big getting ready to drop? Because again, all of us are questioning the...
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching us from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Tech Stories, and welcome to the channel. Now, Melania Trump's situation has just gotten out of hand because she goes out there publicly denying that she is not affiliated or associated with them Epstein files. Yeah. But look, when we talk about being associated, understand that is associated because there are pictures, emails showing her interaction with Epstein, actually trying to tell Epstein how good he is looking, how good he looks. It means that there is a person who was so much interested in really knowing who Epstein is. People are sharing their reactions in regards to this. And brothers and sisters, I think you can tell it all because you cannot lie. One thing that you can do is to lie in front of everyone, but the truth will always come out, however much time it will ever take. Trust me, in one of these few days or months, the truth is going to be coming out. And trust me, all of us are going to witness. The moment you see a person stand in front of everyone trying to tell you how they're not associated or affiliated with anything, 90% of the time you find that they are associated with that. It is human nature. A person who does something wrong will always be loud, will always want to deflect, will always want to prove a point. While a person who haven't done anything, they don't give it their energy because they know at the end of the day they didn't do it, so it's not worth it. A person that wants to prove themselves how good they are or how not bad they are or how they are not affiliated with anything, 90% of the time you realize that they cannot beat them allegations that they are being given, like majority of the time, right? So Melania Trump is out there trying to say that people to leave her alone. She doesn't have anything to do with them Epstein files. She doesn't have anything. She doesn't affiliate. She don't know anything to do with the Epstein files. But brothers and sisters, I want us to listen to what people had to say in regards to this, and then we'll come back. We'll have a discussion in regards to this. And for those who are watching me for the first time, I'm your host and presenter, Agent Stories, and I just want to say thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for taking your time for watching my videos so that we can get to interact, we can get to discuss about all these issues. Until then, let's watch the video. I'll be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter, Agent Stories. So let's get into it.
Timing. Why would she just out of nowhere come out and say those things? Something big is probably going to be dropping. And what the heck is it going to be? I don't even know. I don't know. But whatever it is, I hope that it's something that we can say, we knew it all along. Everything that these people have been getting up there saying they don't know him, didn't know him, wasn't aware. We all know that those are lies. So what is really getting ready to happen?
So we need to talk about Melania Trump, okay? And don't laugh, because I know y'all be laughing at my little news updates, but today she had a press conference. And she had a press conference, and in the press conference, she pretty much is just letting it be known that she didn't have a personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. It felt like she was trying to clear her name. She doesn't want to be pegged or connected to anything that he had going on. There are emails of her emailing Maxwell. But obviously she did know them, but she's trying to just clear her name and make it clear that the relationship wasn't that deep. And I'm wondering now, I'm thinking, what was the point of this, right? Because for the longest, they have been wanting to dead this Jeffrey Epstein topic, right? Like they don't want to talk about it. A lot of people suspect that this is why the war even started, was because they wanted to put that to bed and they needed something else to, take over the headlines. So, I think that I wonder, what was the point of her having this press conference? Is she just sick of her husband and she's just ready to just, tell it all? Is there a strategy with this? What is the point? Because it definitely felt like it came out of left field. And yeah, it just seems sort of strategic. And then also she was reading her statement the entire time. I just feel like when you are talking to the public, especially if you're just like, hey, I don't have anything to do with Jeffrey. it just comes off way more authentic and real if you're just having a conversation and you're not reading it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like something is coming down the pipeline? Is she trying to get ahead of something? Or is she just sick and tired of Trump at this point? So I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. So let me know.
Melania Trump, what is your tea, girl? Because she did a press conference today at the White House out of the blue, random as hell, to deny any ties to her and Jeffrey Epstein. No one has been talking about Melania Trump and her ties to Jeffrey Epstein. So having a press conference about this, speaking about it, making it a whole thing out of the blue feels very weird. I don't know if something's about to come out about her. I don't know if they're trying to distract from this war going badly. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely odd.
As soon as I saw Melania Trump give that statement to reporters about Jeffrey Epstein, the first question I had was this: did the White House know about it? And of course, the answer to that question was no. The White House knew nothing about it. And of course they knew nothing about it, because if they did, they would have vetoed it, right? The last thing that the Trump administration wants at this point in time is for the focus to be back on the Epstein saga. They would rather focus on Iran. Now, let's just be clear that Melania Trump in that statement denied having any connections to Epstein. She denied the online rumors that Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump, and she denied any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims. And it's the victims here that are, of course, what should come first and foremost in our minds when we talk about this story. It's the victims that matter in all of this. But Melania Trump coming out of the blue, out of nowhere, giving this statement to reporters, makes you wonder, what is the dynamic like between the First Lady and the President? Why did she give this statement? And of course, it's obvious why she didn't tell him about it, but it makes you wonder what could be about to come out. I'm sure we'll find out more in the coming days and weeks.
Why is Melania Trump suddenly talking about Epstein? Like, this has been going on for how long? And she hasn't said a word. Now all of a sudden she's putting on a whole public display to, like, say that I was not, I did not have relations with that. Like, she's going full Bill Clinton here, saying that she never had anything to do with, like she didn't date that, nothing to do with Epstein, and she's calling out people who are claiming all this stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, there's been claims that she was apparently dating Epstein there for a while, but like, Donald this entire time is the one who's been talking about it, and he's the one that's saying it's a hoax and it's a fake news and all this other and like, so why is she talking about it? He wants it to go away. Why is she bringing it up? I feel like something's about to happen. I feel like she's trying to get ahead of something. Do you feel like she's trying to get ahead of something? Like, there is something major about to break. Because think about it, okay, so Pam Bondi was supposed to appear in front of the special counsel, and then all of a sudden she was like, no, I'm not showing up, and because she's no longer the attorney general, they can't subpoena her. Convenient, right? So she doesn't show up to talk about the Epstein files, can't be then all of a sudden Melania's like, if you're trying to hide shit, you're not doing a very good job. Like, you're just getting everyone talking about it again, Melania. So are you breaking ranks from Donald's? Because I would think that you'd want to be like him and just get everyone to stop talking about it. So why are you talking about it? Yeah.
What kind of conversation do you think President Trump is having with Melania right now? I keep telling you, those Epstein files are about to reveal more things than we've ever known. Why would President Trump's wife call a press conference to speak about what she didn't do with Jeffrey Epstein without President Trump knowing? You heard what I just said? This woman held a random press conference addressing the nation about what she didn't do with Jeffrey Epstein, that she didn't know or have any connection to Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. But my question is, aren't there emails in those files stating that Ghislaine and Melania had contact? And Melania also took the time to say that the DOJ needs to release all the files. But if you jump down that rabbit hole, don't they have pictures of Melania in those files? Look at this shit.
If lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at the New York City party in 1998.
Now, I'm not saying that anything is about to happen, but why would she hold a press conference without her husband knowing? Why would she hold a press conference about Jeffrey Epstein without her husband knowing? I just want to ask, what does that seem like to you? Do you think something is about to come out? Do you think we're about to find out something that we wasn't supposed to find out? Pay attention.
So we already got to deal with Diana and Mike Vrabel lying, and then Melania coming out here lying too, talking about the lies linking to me.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein.
No, you know, the lies linking to us. Why are you lying to us about this? Talking about, I didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. Well, how did you get into the party, Melania? Because you're not a billionaire, okay? You didn't know Trump at the time. How did he link y'all? Because he was 54 or something and you were like 28. So you must have met with somebody who deals in relationships. She couldn't even look into the crowd. She was like, the lies linked to me. I guess the Iran war was going so bad, he was like, all right, let's get back to Epstein. So she's like, Congress, go ahead, investigate. Okay, good luck with that. She never sued Hunter Biden. Okay, why didn't you sue that liar? You got the money, you got the power, you got the time, you don't work. Never said nothing back to Hunter. Hunter said, bring it. She said, all right, well, anyway.
Is it just me, but Melania speaking on Jeffrey Epstein, I'm completely shocked. I did not expect that, not on my bingo card at all, but she came out and made a public statement essentially saying that she didn't have a relationship with Epstein, that Epstein did not introduce her to her husband, and essentially advocating for the survivors to have their day to testify under oath so it could be on record. And I am just like, what is really going on? What is going on? Does that mean that she is trying to separate herself in preparation for something? Is she truly, at this point advocating for the survivors and speaking out? It looked very formal, so it looked planned. And it was, because we got an announcement saying that she was going to be saying something today. But on Epstein, I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think this means? Because it always means something.
Melania Trump has just came out and said she had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein and never hooked up with him. None of this is under oath. The question remains, why now? Why are you all of a sudden speaking up now, trying to pretend like you all of a sudden care about the victims? You shouldn't just be pressuring Congress. You should be pressuring your husband, because he's the one telling the Department of Justice to not do anything, including not having Pam Bondi testify under oath and moving Ghislaine Maxwell to a minimum security prison. You were just casually emailing her? And none of this is under oath? Shame on you for wasting time like this and making a mockery of this entire situation.
So today, First Lady Melania Trump came out and addressed the public, stating that the lies trying to connect her to Jeffrey Epstein must stop. She stated that the individuals behind those lies are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. She also denounced that she had any wrongful involvement with Epstein, stating that she never flew on his plane nor visited his island. And we know that one of those individuals that she described was the former corrupt senile president's crackhead son, Hunter Biden, who did an interview several months ago claiming that President Trump met Melania or was introduced to Melania by Epstein. And when Melania threatened to sue him for $1 billion if he did not come out and publicly apologize, he stated, F that, because of course he's above the law. I mean, remember, he was seen on that laptop from hell smoking his crack and having his prostitutes, and received a pardon, a full blanket pardon for 10 years from his senile father. So yeah, you can do all of that and get away with it. You probably will feel like you're above the law and you would lack some humility and respect. But what's interesting is that no matter how many times our president and first lady have denounced having any wrongful involvement, because even if he was introduced to her by Epstein, that's not a crime. A crime is smoking crack on a laptop, like what we saw the former corrupt senile president's crackhead son doing. That's a crime. And did anybody ever find out what happened to that crack cocaine that was found at the White House, who that belonged to, while we're at it? But at any rate, you guys, no matter how many times, like I was saying, that our president and first lady denounced having any wrongful involvement with that man, Epstein, you still have people that would choose to believe the man that stated he did not have sexual relations with that woman, although he was also reportedly the devil in a blue dress on that portrait. And also they would rather believe his wife, who's considered to be the wicked witch of the West.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and presenter Hygienic Stories, and thank you. And let's talk about it. First, it's a fresh morning here in the motherland. Everything is going on well. It's a fresh Saturday. We want to discuss about this. And we can all see the deflection that Melania Trump is having. And she's denying any ties with them Epstein files. But you all know that there are so many chances that these might be a lie. And there are a couple of things that they're not telling us. There are a couple of things that these folks are not saying. So, as I said earlier, one day or one time, the truth will catch up, and the truth always catch up. In as much as there is no that solid evidence, we are dealing on allegations, and little evidence that we have towards Melania Trump. This is a pathway to something big, or maybe something that has been hidden through majority of us so that we don't get to see. Because we know there might be something. There might be something out there that these folks have always tried to hide, so that people don't get to know, so that people don't get to understand what really transpired. Remember, every accusation is a confession, and every denial is a guilt acceptance. So something is about to be rolled out, and it ain't small. Something, and I said, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, you all gonna be telling me, there's something these folks are hiding. There's something these folks don't want you to know. There's something these folks are trying to keep away from everybody. But we know it's going to be catching up with them. Someday, it's going to catch up to them. And we all are going to know the truth. She said she's not an Epstein victim. Then that will make her a co-conspirator, right? You are hanging out with this guy and you don't know what he's about. Yep. There's some posts showing how she compliments Jefry. How Jefry looks like. Saying that, I know you're always a busy person, flying from different place to another. Why was she so much interested with Jefry and wanting Jeffrey's attention? That's just a question. Hold on. That's just a question. Don't hate the reporter. Hate the reporter. But there are pictures of you at his house, but you don't know him? Diabolical. And I'm telling you as a matter of fact, do not be surprised when the truth comes out. Because the truth's going to be coming out sooner or soon than we think. The fact that we have people that have started digging the truth out of this, you're all going to be seeing the truth soon. Melania is a bot. I have never witnessed a warm and approachable moment from her since she was introduced to us as First Lady. I don't know. You tell me. You know, there are so many accusations in regards to the people that are running the United States. Some not being human, some being aliens, some being amphibians, you know, and so many allegations. Let me get this straight. No one was talking about you, and you came out to deny what people weren't talking about. That's projection, denial, reaction formation. There are psychoanalysts losing their shit right now. It is human nature, and I told you upfront, whenever a person does something, there'll be so much defensive. But if she didn't, or she is not affiliated with Jefry, she should have been silent, just listening to people, maybe saying less, but going, addressing the press in regards to that. That already proves what we want to know about you. Exactly. It shows and it proves what we want to know exactly. Right. Everything in darkness will come to light. Even Iran released a Lego video showing Trump in Epstein files. Maybe she is tired of being tied to the Epstein files too. America have not forgotten about those Epstein files despite all the distractions. Despite all of it all. Despite all of it all. Ella's no fury like a woman's scorned. This line is really has something to do with love triangle. But if you look at the word scorned, it means rejected or mocked. Also, an emotion involving both anger and disgust. And the phrase suggests that a scorned woman's anger is more intense than any punishment Elle can impose. Well, money is on Palm. She has seen the unredacted files. After begging DT for help for a job and still rejected her and said no, this idiom has been used widely to express the idea that a woman's scorn is equivalent to the worst possible punishment. So there is something that these folks are trying to hide from us. And you know what? Very soon, the truth's gonna come out. Very soon, the truth's gonna come out. And we all know that. The truth's gonna come out. Again, don't hate the reporter. Hate the report. I'm your host, Eugene Stories. But until then, let me see you on my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.